Hi, welcome to Cinema Recap Chronicles. Today we are going to recap a 1996 romance drama movie, 7.5 Weeks. Before we have 50 Shades of Grey and Unfaithful, we have this movie. The movie starts with a song and a girl, Elizabeth walking along the street and every other place where she could walk through, while also reading the newspaper. She is our main character. She works in an art gallery. She picks up her friend from the art gallery, and they all went to Chinese grocery shop. At the Chinese grocery, she saw a man staring at her. The man has the ultimate rizz, and Elizabeth is baffled by the looks of him, although he vanished quickly in the thin air. She saw the man again, but then returned back to her house, which she shared with her friends. Later on, she can see enjoying dinner with her friends and colleagues. Later on, we can see that same man at the street fair. Fortunately, Elizabeth is also at the fair, and she would get a chance to see her dream man again. His name is John. He is our main male character. They started enjoying a meal together and started to know each other on a casual conversation. John gave her a scarf, which she did not buy earlier as it was expensive. Expensive things are sure a ticket to women's heart, according to John. He takes her to a boathouse near a river which belongs to his friend. Here we got to know that John is a Wall Street arbitrage. John uses his ultimate rizz, but the conversation soon got awkward and Elizabeth left the place. She meets with John again, and they seem enjoying with each other. Here, John pulled a prank on her and left her alone on a ride. And don't forget the fart scene where they pay kids to fart. John sure is very strange and funny. They went to Elizabeth's place where we got to know that Elizabeth was married earlier. But now, she had broken up. John also got to know about her family, but he not interested in anything but the Elizabeth body. He asked her to take off her dress and started enjoying her curves through the light. He blindfolded her and start undressing her. He is right now using his ultimate rizz. He sure seems experienced. Seems like he must have gone into the future and watched 50 Shades of Grey. He put ice all over her body and the scene shift to a painting. Elizabeth's art gallery is holding an art exhibition of an unknown artist. We also have a white boxer. I do love this dog breed. Later on, we can see Elizabeth visiting John's home, where he gifted her an expensive gold watch and asked her to think about him touching her when the watch turns noon every day. She took it a step forward and add a self-pleasuring act as well in it. Their dating continues. They meet again and Elizabeth brings John to her home, while she wanted to get intimate with him. But he was hungry, so he started preparing the food that means Elizabeth lol. He feed her and pour food all over Elizabeth and started eating it. In the next scene, we can see Elizabeth in her gallery, where she got to know that her friend went on Elizabeth's place with her ex, and now they are in a relationship. Although she is not sad as she is already in a relationship with John, we see John and Elizabeth meeting again. Elizabeth is having party with her friends and she wants John to meet them too, as they are also the part of Elizabeth's life, but John only wants to be with Elizabeth. He only wants to meet her. Here he tells her the rule. He wants to buy food for her, feed her, bath her, dress her, and everything, and did not want her to do anything. Sounds romantic, but it sure would turn ugly. While John got a call and he had to go to meet with his friend. He asked Elizabeth to say though. Elizabeth, with a bit of curiosity, checked John's personal belongings. But she got a call from John. He is acting that he is angry with her on checking things, and now he wants to give her a punishment. A naughty punishment. Although Elizabeth rejected this and got angry, but later on, it turned into something intimate. Here we can see John buying new clothes for her. We can see that John is very much into role-playing. The movie is sure filled with a lot of songs and romance. We seeing John feeding her. In the next scene, we can see Elizabeth visiting John's workplace. She wants to see how John worked, but John behaved like he did not like that. Although he was just joking around, he can do weird jokes and pull everything off since her has the ultimate rizz. Look at his face. He is very confident. Smiling face at office. They all went for a lunch after that. Here, Elizabeth wonders how it would feel like to be a guy in a Wall Street. So John bought her suit and a fake mustache so that she be a boy lol and test things out for herself. And she is ready with her new getup. She is now living a life of a man which is always dream off. But it's the hell of a life. Work, work. John is also saying the same thing lol. Later, she messed with some bad guys and they are chasing them. But they started kissing each other between the chase. What are they? Do they really want to get a beat up? John and Elizabeth went to a confined place where they were able to defeat those bad guys. Elizabeth did a special move on them and put the knife in between those damn guys' legs. They are happy that they have defeated the bad guys, and now it's time for celebration. John and Elizabeth have a very unique way of celebrating things. It is very distinguished. They are celebrating it by making out in the rain. They finally got the free shower, and if this goes on, then they soon be getting the baby shower. Later on, we can see Elizabeth working, and later on, she is spending time with John. She liked a necklace and John asked her to steal it, which she does. They sure do enjoy living life on edge. John has a very distinguished way of living. Later on, we can see John purchasing bed, mattress, while he asked Elizabeth to test it by spreading her legs. He sure is making his BDSM-style relationship public. He also bought a wipe, but he won't be using it though. It's nighttime and time for another fantasy of John to come to life. Elizabeth dances for her while John enjoying the evening. Next day, we can see Elizabeth visiting the artist whom exhibition they soon going to have. In the next scene, we can see that John wants Elizabeth to play a game. He wants her to grab the money and come to him, but Elizabeth is uncomfortable. She refused but was forced by the John, although John turns the mood light quickly. Later on, Elizabeth meets with John at a hotel room where he asked her to blindfold. John touches her briefly, then he brings out another woman to touch her. Elizabeth becomes insecure and the girl removes her blindfold. John takes the woman to the next room and started undressing her. Elizabeth sure does not like that and intervenes violently. Elizabeth is sad and wants John to feel how she felt during the whole thing. She ran from the house and lands up in an adult entertainment venue. John follows her, while Elizabeth starting kissing a random man, but then fall back. John embraces her to make her calm down. Things sure is ugly, which Elizabeth realizes, although she got dependent on John emotionally. Later on, Elizabeth Art Gallery hosts a successful art exhibition, but Elizabeth is having an emotional breakdown. She calls John to spend night on with him, but it's sure that she is fed up with all these things. She, with a heavy heart, packed her stuff. John asked to not to leave and confess his love, but Elizabeth is fed up with all his fantasy, and she leave anyway while crying, and the story ends here. The movie sure is unique in its own way. While I leave it up to you guys to form a view on this, while watching a recap is not a substitute to watching a movie, and we don't promote it in any way. Thanks for watching Cinema Recap Chronicles. Please do like and subscribe to my channel as it really helps. Do comment down your thoughts below and have fun.